Martin Kilcoyne is back from the owners' meeting. He'll be in here at 10 o'clock. He'll have the latest on all of it. But that report from the Sports Business Journal says they have a source inside that NFL owners' meeting which states that the Rams gave their presentation about their stadium, and part of the presentation was subject titled, "Why St. Louis Doesn't Work for the Rams." So when they left the meeting, they weren't leading with that, but that's probably why not a lot of people are talking. Bryan Mooney is our guest. He is a St. Louis native, and he is an author and getting bigger and bigger as we speak. Bryan, you just signed a pretty big, lucrative publishing deal. Bryan Mooney, welcome back to Big 550 KTRS. Tell us about this new book deal.
Thanks, McGraw. Thanks, Kelly. It's good to be here. I was contacted by Lake Union Publishing, who had read a couple of my books, loved the book, and signed a publishing deal to republish one of my books and to publish my next book that's going to be coming out later next year.
Now you picked up writing. I guess you were always a writer, but you sort of made it a full-time career. I don't want to say late in life, but midway through your life. Love Letters, A Second Chance, Christmas in Vermont. Is it safe to say that you're a romance novelist?
I write romance novels and mystery thrillers with a romantic twist to them. I do the Nick Ryan mystery series.
Aha! So a romance novel with a little intrigue, if you will.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. All right. Tell us about this new book, Once We Were Friends.
Once We Were Friends is actually my first book that's set in St. Louis. It's set out in the Overland. It takes place in the late 50s, 1959 to be precise. Talks about two young friends and that hang out together, go fishing together, go caving together, and what happens is one winds up as a police officer and a cop in Florida, and the other one winds up landing on death row.
That sounds like a really good romance novel.
And escapes.
So, did you have to return to St. Louis to write this book?
Yes, I went back a couple times to do some research, although, like I said, I was born and raised there, went to Mercy High, UMSL, but did go back just to make sure I had all the details correct, and they were great visits. It's a great town. I love it.
How did you start? Because when you start, you write the book, there are great stories about how great authors had to sell their books out of the back of their trunk. How did you start selling these books, and what was the spark that people started buying them?
What would happen is that it got reviewed in a couple of the ladies' magazines. The editors were reading them, loved the books, put them on their reading list. A couple of the book clubs picked them up, and word of mouth. And then I did some private readings at some ladies' clubs, and started signing autographs in some of the bookstores. One by one started to carry them, and then Barnes & Noble, now Amazon is carrying it, and it's now being sold in 18 countries worldwide. And Amazon loves Christmas in Vermont so much that they are going to republish it coming out October 20th. And plan to come out and make it a Christmas tradition. Christmas in Vermont.
When a publisher comes knocking on your door, they see an opportunity, and they see that people are buying it, reading it, and then telling their friends about it, so they want to get in on the action.
Yes, indeed, and that's what they saw.
Yeah, excellent.
Have you been compared at all to Nicholas Sparks, who's also a romance novelist?
Quite a few times. Everybody says is that my writing reminds them so much of Nicholas Sparks, and my mystery thrillers remind a lot of people, my readers, to James Patterson.
Well, I don't like Nicholas Sparks. Hopefully you're way better than Nicholas Sparks. Where can we get the book, Bryan?
You can get it on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble. You can go to any of the local bookstores. If they don't have it in stock, they're happy to order it, and they can get it in or have it shipped right to your house.
Being married for 40 years, and writing a romance novel, you get a little squeamish when you're writing some of those romantic scenes?
No, I use my wife, and we've been married, like I said, 40 years, as an inspiration on any romantic scene, on any romantic thought. We're still best friends. We still like to do everything together and always have. We go away every year for our wedding anniversary, and that translates and comes through in my books when I write a story about relationships. And that's what these books are about. More relationships than about romance.
That's a great way to answer that question.
Yeah.
Christmas in Vermont, going to be republished on Amazon. Once We Were Friends is the new book, set in St. Louis, in the suburbs in Overland. One more time, Bryan, how can we get the books?
You can get it at Amazon.com. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, or go to your local bookstore, or even the local library sometimes will order them in. They're doing very well on Amazon and have been ever since they came out, consistently ranked in the top 100 in their categories.
The book is called Once We Were Friends, and also look for Christmas in Vermont. Bryan Mooney, thanks for checking in.
McGraw, thanks.
You got it.
I
Take care.
appreciate it. Have a good day.
9 o'clock, KHR St. Louis.